What's the most disastrous date you've ever been on? Chances are I have you beat. This is probably one of the most spectacular dating failures ever documented. Things don't always work out, and sometimes you just gotta laugh at it. Eventually, because it damn sure wasn't funny when it was happening. But anyways, here's another tale from the L train, so let's get started.
Hi, I'm Season, and you're listening to Touch Grass. Fuck. No, okay, hold on. Hi, I'm Season, and you're listening to Touch Grass and Wash Your Beep.
Everyone fails. Everyone gets rejected. Everyone has to take a loss sometimes. So here's a little story about a spectacular dating failure involving yours truly. Now, this was back in the late 90s, so it was a long, long time ago. It actually started out really well. I was chatting online with this girl, and after a couple of hours, we decided to meet in person. So, we went straight from chatting to going on a date really fast. Now, she lived in a place called Irving, Texas, which is about a 40-minute drive from my house. So it was a bit of a trek, but I was game for it. So I get to her place and she comes outside, and the first thing she does is she looks at my car and she kind of frowns. And so she gets in and she's like, "What's up with your car?" Now, my car was actually pretty nice. It was a Saturn. It was brand new, but it did have a ding on it from a fender bender that I had recently. So she had a real problem with it. She's like, "I don't really want to be seen in this car." And I'm like, "Just don't worry about it?" So she kind of gets over it. We get in the car and we start to head out. And then she's like, "Hey, you should pick up my friend." And at first I'm like, I don't know. Why do I need to pick up your friend? Is she going to be there to play defense? What's going on here? But then she goes, "Yeah, you pick up my friend and then call up one of your friends and then we'll all go back to your place and hang out." So I'm like, "Yeah, okay, we can do that." So I went and I picked up her friend and I called up one of my friends. And believe it or not, cell phones actually did exist in the 90s, but they were, I believe the phone I had was called Primeco. It was like a green screen, no camera, no apps, no nothing. I think back then they had text messaging, the T9 text messaging, but you actually had to pay per text message. So no one ever texted. Anyways, the friend gets in the car and she was really cute. I mean, she was a good looking girl. In fact, they were both good looking girls. I mean, they both looked really nice. So I was thinking that this is going to be a big win. I'm hanging out. My friend's going to come over. I got these two nice looking girls and we're all going to party at my place. So this is going to work out. So we get back to my house and I'm just hanging out with these two nice looking chicks. And I'm like, man, I really won this time. I'm going to get some cool points for this one. So a friend shows up. I let him in and the girlfriend was very impressed with him. And my date was also like, wow, he is really cute. So the guy, my friend at the time, he's a 6'8" dude. He's muscular. He had a really nice car, perfect skin complexion, and he's bilingual. I mean, this dude was the Chad of all Chads. I mean, he was the man. But I'm the man too, at least in my own mind. So I'm thinking it's all working out. As the night goes on, we have a few drinks, and her friend is really getting into my friend. But my date was also really into my friend, and I started to notice that he was getting a lot more attention than I was. Now, at first, I didn't pay any mind, but as the conversation started to get sexual, I started to notice that I was being left out completely. And then it happened. Yeah, exactly what you would think. Both girls ended up boinking my friend in my bedroom while I sat in the living room by myself. Let me repeat that part. Both girls, the girls that I picked up and brought to my house, they had sexual intercourse. They had coitus. My friend in my bedroom at my house while I sat in the living room by myself. Now that is an L. That is a big fat L. That is defeat. That is failure. That is time to pack it up and go home, except I was at home. So the sexual shenanigans concluded and my friend left and the two girls asked me to take them home. And I'm like, wow, they've really got some nerve. So I thought about it. I was going to say no. And then I was like, if I don't do this, then they're going to call up someone else and some stranger is going to come to my house, know where I live and pick them up. And I didn't want that. So I just told them to get in the car and let's go. So on the drive, I'm pissed off. I'm turning up my music loud and I'm just trying not to think about them at all. And the girl, my date, goes, "Hey, can you turn down the music?" And I said no. And then she goes, "Why are you acting like a bitch?" And I was just like, wow. Now, see, my plan was never to take them home. I was not about to drive these chicks all the way to Irving after what just went down. But at that point, I immediately stopped at the next gas station. I was like, hey, I gave them some money. I was like, hey, can you guys go in and get some cigarettes while I pump gas? And they did. They get out of the car. And as soon as they do, I lock the doors. I toss both of their purses out the window and I drove off. Now, was I petty? Yeah. Was that wrong? Yeah. Do I care? No. Because look, guys, I deserve a pass on that one. Because let me be clear. I picked up a date and her friend and invited my friend over for a double date, and it turned into a threesome that I was not invited to. And now they're expecting me to take them home and they're talking to me the whole way. No, it's not going like that at all. So yeah, I totally ditched them and took off. And to tell the truth, they're pretty dumb for getting in the car with me to begin with. I mean, you got to think about it. You did a guy that dirty, a stranger that you just met today, and you did do him dirty. And now you're getting in the car with him to take you home. I mean, if I were an evil person, they would probably never be seen or heard from again. I mean, that's craziness, you know? But that happened. I ditched them. I drove back home and my friend called up and he kind of laughed about the whole situation because at the end of the day, it was pretty funny. It was humiliating. I was pissed. I was kind of upset. But at the end of the day, I had to laugh at myself too. Because one thing that I will never ever do is be mad at my friends when they win and I lose. Because it just happens, you know, sometimes. I mean, we win together, we lose together. Sometimes one of us wins and one of us loses. And I mean, it's all good, man. You always got to put your friends first, all that. That's real. You got, you know, because they're still sticking with you, you know, even after that. I mean, we remained friends for a very long time and we had a lot of other adventures together that worked out a little bit better for me. But that was a day that things didn't go my way. And that happens, man. That happens. It happens to everybody. I mean, even guys that you think get all the girls, I promise you, there's a guy out there that wants one girl and he can't get her. I mean, that's just everybody. And me, myself, I mean, dude, I have a lot of failures and I'll probably share a lot more of them if anyone's interested in hearing because some of them are just as wild as this. But in any case, I'm out of here. So I'll see you guys next time. Stay up and I'll catch you later. Hey guys, that's it for this edition of Touch Grass. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, but don't just sit and watch internet videos all day. You need to go outside and conquer life because you matter and you need to make every day matter. Now get off the internet and go touch grass.
Until we meet again!